The glass conference room on the 42nd floor felt colder than usual, even though the late afternoon sun was pouring through the floor-to-ceiling windows and painting long golden rectangles across the white marble table. 12 chairs, only 4 occupied. Me at one end. Ethan Caldwell, CEO's only son, 29, board title Chief Growth Officer, even though everyone knew the role was invented so his father could keep him close, at the other. Between us sat Marissa Voss, 31, radiant in a cream silk blouse that cost more than my monthly mortgage payment, her dark hair pulled into the kind of effortless low bun that takes 20 minutes in front of a mirror. And beside her, pretending to read emails on his phone, sat Lucas from HR, the one person in the building who could witness this without puking. I had worn my best suit today. Charcoal wool, single-breasted, the one I bought after my last promotion 4 years ago when people still clapped. The cuffs were starting to fray. I hadn't noticed until this morning. Ethan leaned back, elbows on the armrests, fingers steepled. He smiled the smile he'd been practicing since boarding school, charming, boyish, lethal. Elliot, he began, using my first name like we were old squash partners. Thanks for coming up on short notice. I know Fridays are sacred around here. I nodded once. Said nothing. The envelope containing my signed offer letter for Director of Strategy sat in my inside jacket pocket like a live grenade with the pin already pulled. Marissa crossed her legs. The soft click of her Louboutins against the table leg was the only sound for 3 full seconds. Ethan glanced at her, then back at me. So, the promotion. My pulse kicked up half a notch. I kept my face neutral. We've made a decision, he continued. The board, well, Dad and I feel that Marissa's trajectory over the last 18 months has been exceptional. The Aurora launch? That was her baby. The client retention numbers post-launch speak for themselves. She's demonstrated the kind of bold, client-first thinking we need at the director level. I looked at Marissa. She met my eyes for half a second, then dropped her gaze to the table, cheeks faintly pink. Not embarrassment. Something closer to triumph badly concealed. The Aurora launch, I said quietly, was built on 18 months of pipeline work my team and I did before she ever transferred from EMEA. The creative brief she presented in Q1? That was my deck from the year before, lightly rebranded. The pricing model she took credit for in the steering committee? My regression analysis. I have the version history if anyone wants to see it. Ethan's smile didn't waver. Elliot, we all stand on the shoulders of giants. That's how great teams work. Lucas coughed into his fist. I turned my head slowly toward Ethan. I'd been here 9 years. Senior manager for the last 4. Every single year the succession plan had my name penciled in for this role. Last December you shook my hand at the holiday party and said, "Next cycle is yours, man. You've earned it." I remember, Ethan said smoothly. And you have earned a great deal. Which is why we're creating a brand new role for you, head of strategic initiatives. Same pay band, slightly broader scope. You'll report directly to me instead of through layers. It's a lateral move in title, but a step up in visibility. Marissa finally spoke. Her voice was soft, almost apologetic. Elliot, I didn't ask for this. I told them I thought you were the obvious choice. I looked at her. Really looked. The faint line between her brows was rehearsed concern. Her eyes were bright, excited. She was already mentally redecorating my old office. You told them, I repeated. She nodded quickly. I did. I said you deserved it. Ethan cut in. Marissa's being modest. She brought numbers. She brought vision. She brought chemistry with the C-suite that's hard to teach. I felt something cold and precise settle in my chest. Chemistry, I echoed. He shrugged one shoulder. You know how it is. Boardroom presence. Executive gravitas. Sometimes it's not just about the work. I let the silence stretch. 10 seconds. 15. Then I reached into my jacket, pulled out the cream envelope, and laid it flat on the table between us. Ethan's eyes flicked to it. His posture changed by 2 degrees, shoulders loosening, mouth curving a fraction higher. "You're taking the new role?" he asked. "No," I said. Lucas looked up from his phone for the first time. I slid the envelope toward the center of the table. "This is the signed acceptance letter for the Director of Strategy position. The one HR sent me 17 days ago. The one with your father's digital signature on the bottom. The one that promised a 42% increase in base, equity grant, and a direct report to the CEO. Marissa's lips parted slightly. I continued, voice calm, almost gentle. "I was going to bring champagne tonight. Surprise my wife. Tell my son he could finally go to that robotics camp in Boston. I practiced the speech in the car on the way up here. Word for word." Ethan's smile was gone now. Just a tight line. "But then I got the calendar invite," I said. 4 names. Friday at 4. Conference Room Olympus. Subject line, Leadership Update. I knew what it meant the second I saw Marissa's name on the invite. I've sat through enough of these meetings to recognize the choreography. I tapped the envelope once with my index finger. "So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to thank you." Ethan blinked. "Thank you, Ethan," I said clearly, "for showing me finally, unmistakably, who you really are. Thank you for choosing optics over merit in front of a witness. Thank you for making it impossible for me to keep lying to myself that loyalty still buys anything in this building. Thank you for handing me the clarity I've been too stubborn to claim for years." I stood up slowly. Marissa's hand twitched toward the envelope, then stopped. "I'm not resigning today," I continued. "I'm not going to storm out and give you the clean narrative you want. I'm staying. I'm going to do my job better than ever. Every deck I build will have my name in 10-point font on the footer. Every analysis I run will be version controlled and timestamped. Every time you present my work as yours in an all hands, I'll add a quiet slide at the end, data sourcing and primary modeling, Elliot Reyes. Small. Professional. Permanent." Ethan's jaw worked once. "And when the next round of promotions comes up," I said, "and the next talented woman or man gets told they're not quite ready yet, I'll be the first person they talk to afterward. I'll show them the emails. The metrics. The version histories. I'll tell them exactly how the game is played here. Not because I want revenge. Because I'm done being part of the silence." I looked at Marissa. "You're very good," I told her. "Truly. But you didn't earn this today. You were given it. There's a difference. One day you'll feel it." Her eyes glistened. She didn't blink. I turned back to Ethan. "One last thing. Your father built this company on grit and instinct. He used to tell stories about sleeping on the floor of his first office. I believed those stories. I wanted to believe I was cut from the same cloth." I paused. "But you? You're not your father. You're the trust fund remix. And everyone in this building already knows it. They just haven't said it out loud yet." I picked up the envelope, tore it once clean down the middle, then again, and again, until 8 pieces lay scattered across the marble like confetti no one wanted. "Thank you," I said a final time. "For setting me free." I walked to the door. Behind me, Lucas cleared his throat. "Elliot HR will need to speak with you about." "Monday," I said without turning. "I'll be at my desk at 7:30. Meridian Q3 deck is due at 9. It'll be perfect. You're welcome to review it." The glass door side shut behind me. The hallway smelled of fresh coffee and new carpet. Ordinary. Unchanged. Yet every step toward the elevator felt like walking downhill after years of climbing. I pressed the down button. The doors opened immediately, as though the building had been waiting. Inside, the mirrored wall showed a man in a slightly frayed charcoal suit, shoulders back, eyes clear. I smiled at my reflection. Small. Tired. Real. The doors closed. And for the first time in 9 years, the descent felt like flying.